As we kick things off today, wheat can be a profitable commodity for some Nebraska producers. Beyond the potential profit, growing winter wheat can also help promote the control of tough weeds and improve overall soil health as an added bonus. In fact, there are several upsides to what wheat can do for your operation. Market Journal's Mike Straub recently caught up with the extension educator Nathan Mueller to discuss some of those benefits of the Winter Wheat Works initiative.
But the point is if you wait until
the Winter Wheat Works initiative is a program focused on helping growers add winter wheat to their cropping systems and has many resources available.
Yeah, the Winter Wheat Works initiative is an effort really that I started as a local extension program and then kind of grown it to across eastern Nebraska and into south central Nebraska, just helping growers add winter wheat into their cropping system, which is something that we've lost over time, and there's some real big advantages to adding wheat here in eastern and south central Nebraska. And so it's just offering a suite of extension programs, outreach, social media, where they can connect and get information that's unique to our area in terms of growing winter wheat.
Soil health is just one advantage to adding winter wheat into crop rotations.
There's a lot of opportunities for wheat in the rotation. I think one of the big ones, guys are really interested in men and women in production ag are really interested in soil health and even carbon now. And there's advantages from increasing soil infiltration rates, carbon and nitrogen in the soil, adding wheat into that corn soybean rotation.
Adding winter wheat to your crop rotations could also be a great tool to help with weed issues.
It can be weeds, disease, and insects, and probably the biggest one on the, just helping out with that is on weed management. Palmer, water hemp, mare's tail are all problematic weeds in eastern Nebraska. And so it gives you a different tool in your toolbox for integrated weed management to have wheat into the rotation, changes up herbicide options, and adds pressure just because wheat's a cool season, winter annual, where the other two are a warm season grass and a warm season broadleaf. So it really helps with diversifying that rotation. And there's data now that shows both in terms of minimizing risk from extreme weather events, but that diverse crop rotation really does help stabilize yield in those other crops. And so there are yield benefits to adding wheat.
Improving infiltration rates and stabilizing yields are just some of the benefit factors growers may not always consider when growing winter wheat.
What we don't factor in is that if you're getting 3 extra bushels on wheat, maybe 5 on corn, you're improving infiltration rates, you're maybe stabilizing yields, improving soil health. There's a lot of additional advantages to having wheat and moving that money around. The wheat may not make you that much in the year of, but adding dollar amounts back that you made on the corn and soybean is really money you need to move back to your wheat balance sheet. And so there's a lot of reasons growers are looking at wheat, and so I've worked with growers that have been growing wheat, and that's kind of where this started, was a guy that just had a question and kind of started the program from there because there was a need there. And now there's quite a few growers that are growing wheat for the first time, or maybe their father or mother grew winter wheat, but they haven't. And so it's really been fun to see wheat acres expand. And I think at least locally where I'm at, wheat acres were up slightly last year and then probably more so this year for the first time in quite a few years.
Implementing winter wheat into your crop rotations can have big advantages for growers with livestock.
So the normal rotation, or where I like to start people off just to minimize some management issues, is plant corn, then plant soybeans, and as soon as those soybeans are harvested, hopefully you can get them out into September, early October, plant that winter wheat. And then that wheat will come out into June, early July. And then you also have an opportunity to add really a 4th crop in 3 years, and that could be a forage crop. It could be a double crop sorghum, double crop soybean, sunflower, or what we're talking about at some other programs is just annual forages if you have cattle in the rotation. That's where winter wheat, I think, it really plays into some farm operations with people with livestock to have that double crop forage crop after wheat's a huge advantage with our 29, 30 inches of moisture in eastern Nebraska. So if anything, we can almost squeeze in 4 crops in 3 years versus normally you just get 3 and 3 if you just were going corn, soybean, corn.
Because of the root structure wheat has, soil health and structure will improve over time.
We know that wheat, because it's a very dense fibrous root system near the surface, really does help improve soil structure over time. That aggregate stability helps minimize compaction. It helps brings additional soil health benefits, and we know there's connections with the microbial health with the soil structure benefits of having water stable aggregates. So it really helps across the board, and that's one of the advantages to adding wheat into the rotation, is just having a different root structure in that system that really, if you think about our prairie soils, they were perennial grasses, and so at least having an annual grass in the system really provides an opportunity to move things back maybe a different direction on our soil structure.
Wheat lives phosphorus.
If growers want to start off slow or don't have the equipment needed to implement wheat into their rotation, getting in touch with people you know can be a great start.
Yeah, I think it's not an all or nothing. You don't need to be all in on this day of trying wheat, and I've worked with quite a few guys. If you don't have a drill, find somebody that can custom drill for you one wheat field to start off with. If you don't know how to make the combine settings, maybe you find somebody in the area that already has wheat that would be able to custom harvest that. That's what I've done on my field. I just have one small field, and so it doesn't make a lot of sense to invest in equipment. So there's opportunities to get your feet wet with having opportunities to have somebody custom do that for you. And then that's part of the goal of the Winter Wheat Works initiative is what are the main management things I need to consider so I have a success? How do I get 100 bushel wheat in eastern Nebraska? We know we can do it, but just like any crop, not putting in inputs, not managing it right, it's hard to get there. And so that's part of my initiative is to provide that type of extension program and information. Farmer panels, there's a listserv that you can be on that really help you through some of those steps and things to consider.
Steve, this is at 56.
If adding winter wheat into your crop rotations is something you've considered, the Winter Wheat Works initiative would be the perfect resource to utilize. Reporting for Market Journal, I'm Mike Straub.